You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable. You're so unbelievable. You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
Welcome to the big show.
He could go all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am ready for this. As from High Atop the Ridge on Rockefeller Road in Wickliffe, Ohio, it's the Wickliffe Blue Devils getting ready to host Friday Night Football, where tonight the Wickliffe Blue Devils are entertaining the Trojans from Trinity Heights High School. Hello again, everybody. My name is Frank Fody from the class of 1974. And alongside me tonight is what I'm going to call an active Blue Devil, Tony Throckmorton, who's a junior at Wickliffe Senior High School. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now, Tony, I don't be up here with a bowling ball or anything, okay? We'll talk more about that later. Tony just came back from a very successful bowling tournament. We'll learn more about that. But right now we're getting ourselves ready as the Blue Devils tonight will be, as I mentioned, entertaining the Trojans from Trinity. Trinity was here at Wickliffe last year. The Blue Devils prevailed, and tonight we'll see if the Devils are able to dial something up in a positive momentum sort of way and try to improve on their record where they've got one on the upside, and you know it's been a bit of a challenged year, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's game, as I understand it, a couple things. It's the last scheduled home game for the Blue Devils. I learned prior to our coming on the webcast tonight, there is a chance, although a remote chance, that the canceled game from about a month ago between Fairport Harbor and Wickliffe might be made up, and the key word there is might. We may learn more about that later tonight or in the coming days. But if that doesn't happen, tonight is the last of the 2021 home games for the Blue Devils. And we'll see what happens. Now, the other thing we've got to factor in, Mother Nature may be wanting to attend the game tonight. We've got differing reports where tonight's game may get affected by some wet stuff and lightning and thunder, and if it does, there's delays and all that kind of rigmarole which has to get factored in. Some people are telling us it's going to go south of us. Some people are telling us it's going to go north of us, go over the lake. But we'll just have to keep our eyes on it, and we'll do our best, as I'm sure the officiating crew and the administrations of both Wickliffe and Trinity with regard to the weather, because it can play a factor. A bit breezy, very nice evening. I'd say about 20 minutes ago, looking out to the west, it was looking rather threatening. Not so bad now, but we'll see what does happen in the next hour or so once we get underway. But the teams are here. The Blue Devils were out warming up here a little bit ago. I think they've headed back to the locker room. Trinity's coming out to get warm, and in the not-too-distant future, Mark had a chance to talk with Coach Marsh Purcello, and we'll hear about things with regard to Coach Purcello and the Blue Devils and the team thus far. We've got Scott Tennant, who will be joining us here shortly to talk about, possibly all things Wickliffe High. And, we've got the soccer tournaments starting next week for both the Blue Devils and the Lady Devils. We'll learn about that because it's been an interesting year for the Blue Devils soccer-wise. So there's a lot going on. Also, I'd like to give an update on, with regard to last night, we had the opportunity to cover the Wickliffe School Alumni Association's induction into the Achievement Hall of Fame, so we'll kind of review that. And, in about 25 minutes or so, we're scheduled to get underway and play what would be game number, well, for the Devils, it's actually game number 8 because we had one that got canceled, or at least we know postponed / canceled with regard to Fairport Harbor. And if that does remain that way, the Devils will finish up next Friday on the road, and I believe they're at Cuyahoga Heights, and that's an excellent football team, and one that has been a challenge for the Blue Devils in recent years. So, all good? Oh, all right. Just double check. We're in a bit more confined press box area tonight because we're trying to prepare should Mother Nature get in our way, and we want to be able to, continue on with regard to our coverage of the Wickliffe Blue Devils and the Trinity Trojans. So, Tony, tell me about you recently were in this tournament.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about it.
October 2nd and 3rd, I traveled down to Columbus, HP Lanes, for a PBA Juniors regional tournament, a very big junior tour bowling tournament. Saturday, it started qualifying for 6 games. I went plus 77 for 6 games. For some of you who don't know what that means, like in golf, how you have a par 4 course, 200 a game is par for bowling. I finished off qualifying in 2nd. Top 8 made the cut to match play, which was the 2nd day. We get into Sunday, which we bowled 8 games of match play format, where I would face one opponent, 30 bonus pins for the win, 15 for a tie, and no pins for a loss. My overall match play record was 2-5. I won 60 extra bonus pins, and to finish off that weekend, I had over 2,622 pins knocked down to put me plus 22 pins to finish 5th out of 18 kids in the U18 boys division.
So, Tony, with all that, it almost sounds like science class. But congratulations, and I mean, it sounds like there's good things in store for you as you continue on, and we wish, naturally, all of us here at the Worldwide Blue Devil Network wish the best for you and Wickliffe and Wickliffe High School and boom, can't even talk anymore. You get so excited to get ready to do the Blue Devil game, and as I could see, they're making their way out onto the field. I think this is senior night, so they'll be honoring the seniors for the football team, and I think the cheerleaders. And there's something they were going to honor a rusted left-handed guy from the class of 1974 that probably needs to have be in a mental institution. Sounds sort of like me, but what are you going to do? So speaking of honoring, last night, want to make mention that the Wickliffe Schools Alumni Association, we were able to get back at it and honor the Achievement Hall of Fame, of which we inducted 3 new inductees. We had a faculty member, a beloved faculty member, Peter Wolfgram, who was everything from a high school teacher, a guidance counselor, a sporting coach. He was athletic director. And I say sporting coach because he, Coach Wolfgram, coached everything from football, wrestling, softball, and he was, one of the most cool things that he did was he created something here at Wickliffe High School that's known as the Rockefeller Road Review, or some people would refer to it as the Rock, if you will. And so he was inducted in last night with regard to faculty. And then from the class of 1970, William Eberhard, who's become a very well-known architect, and went to Wickliffe High School and has a very successful architectural firm. And then from the class of 1972, Chris Lambert, who's a writer, and I want to give a shout out and a congratulations to them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to step aside and we'll pick up the PA announcer as you'll be able to see the honoring of the seniors here on senior night here at Wickliffe High School.
Where she intends on pursuing a writing and communications degree. Amani Sturdivant Garner. Our second senior cheerleader, Emma Thompson. Emma is escorted by parents, Jeff and Lisa Thompson. This is Emma's 4th year as part of the cheerleading program, and she will earn her 3rd varsity lesson. Emma is also a member of the swing band and varsity girls soccer team, and is in the Learn, Lead, and Serve and Allied Health program. After high school, Emma plans to attend college, earn her RN with the goal of becoming a pediatric nurse. Emma Thompson. The first of our senior football players, number 40, Montrell Barrett Jr. Montrell is escorted by his little sister, Ramira Hale, aunt Marche Fortson, and his father, Montrell Barrett Sr. This is Montrell's first year as a member of the varsity football team. Montrell is interested in possibly joining the basketball team this year. And after high school, Montrell would like to pursue a further education, but is undecided on his college at this time. Montrell Barrett Jr. Our second senior football player, number 23, Davion Irvin. Escorting Davion, his mom Michelle, his little brother Devin, and Kendra. Davion practiced with the team in 2019, but will earn his first varsity letter this year. Davion would like to join the Army to protect and serve. Davion Irvin. Our third football player, number 64, Kevin McCabe. This is Kevin's second year playing football. Excuse me, Kevin is escorted by Nikki and Rob McCabe. This is Kevin's second year playing football, and he will earn his first varsity letter this year. At this time, Kevin is undecided on college. Kevin McCabe. And our fourth senior football player, number 42, Thomas Wentz. Thomas is escorted by his mom, Morgan Wentz, his dad, James Garden, and his brother, Andy Garden. This is Thomas' second year in the football program, and he will earn his second varsity letter this season. After high school, Thomas plans to join the U.S. Marine Corps. Thomas Wentz. Thank you again to our senior cheerleaders and football players, as well as their families. We wish them the best with the remainder of their senior year and in their future endeavors. Thank you.
And there you have the recognition for senior cheerleaders and Blue Devils. And as I'm saying that, I can feel a rather nice, cool breeze now coming in, which means we may have something coming at us. But before we get too much further, we're about 16 minutes away from kickoff. Mark had an opportunity to chat with Wickliffe head coach Marsh Purcello, and we'll take a moment here and get some thoughts from Coach Purcello with regard to the Blue Devils and tonight's contest.
Well, back at it for the last time, maybe, here in the 2021 season at Wickliffe Memorial Field, and with your Wickliffe Blue Devil coach, Coach Marsh Purcello. Coach, first of all, it's good to be back. A little disappointing last week, but you had a week to work on things, and this is the last game for some of the guys. Maybe the last home game. Who knows? I'll talk about that in a minute. But how was the week? How are you feeling? How are the guys feeling?
We had an okay week. We had a couple injuries last week. So we had our center got hurt and our guard, one of our guards. So it's been a little challenging fitting guys in. But we've been practicing really well the last few. I mean, we've had some really good practices. So they're starting to get it a little bit. Like last week, for example, we moved the football and we just turned it over. We keep turning the football over. So if we can cut out those mistakes, we moved the ball last week a little bit.
So Coach, with you mentioned turnovers and the maybe the miscues the last few weeks between the center and quarterback. Were those involved last week? Have you got those things ironed out? How do you fix something like that?
Yeah. In practice, we don't have many bad snaps. Again, it's the inexperience, really, to be honest, on the Friday night lights. And, we got down to the inch line last week and fumbled the snap. So those are the little things that experience, is huge for. And so, they've taken snaps after snaps after snaps in practice. So we'll see. We got a freshman starter tonight at center. All week he snapped pretty well, so we'll see.
Okay. Coach, the reason I was talking about the maybe thing and, and everything with the way this expanded playoff system is, I mean, this game is winnable tonight. You win this game, and with the teams below you, what do you need, 4 or 5 points or something?
I think it's only 1.5 points, actually. So, yeah, I mean, there's an outside shot. So,
I mean, hey, anybody mention it at all?
We haven't really talked about it.
Do any of the kids know? Do they? Or nobody's mentioned?
They don't really know.
Okay.
So they don't. Actually, it's kind of funny. Even some of my really good teams in the past, some of them didn't even follow that stuff. So they just kind of waited for us to tell them what was going on.
Whether they're playing or not.
Yeah, they just they did what we asked them to do. So
Nice. Last one for me before I let you go. This year obviously a learning experience, especially the young group, and I'm sure you're looking forward to a really good off season and being able to open up things.
Mm-hmm.
What do you take away from this to move into that off season? Again, nothing's not over. We just talked about that.
Right.
But I mean, things may be winding down here for you all.
Well, so for me, a lot of it has to do with culture, and as a head coach for 11 years, we've created this culture of working hard, hustling, playing physical, having a calm mindset. All the things that we talk about daily, and we're still talking about that stuff. We're still coaching the guys. We're doing the same things that we've done for years. So they're learning. I mean, we have one player that played last year at varsity level, and we have a lot of guys that weren't even in our program last year that are playing for us on Friday nights. And so it takes some time for them to understand what it takes to play on a Friday night. And so, and some of them were thrown into the fire early. We're starting a freshman safety, we're starting a freshman center tonight. We got some young guys. But a lot of film work, and they're learning on the fly. They're learning in the film room. And then, I'm excited for the off season. We got some potential. We got some really good football players. They're just sophomores that are very small and young and haven't really hit their growth spurt yet. So we're going to get them in the weight room right away, and we'll get them stronger and ready to go. So
All right, Coach, good luck out here. Last home game, but maybe we'll see you here in a couple of weeks.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
And there you have the Wickliffe High School alma mater. We had a little bit of the national anthem there laying underneath the interview that Mark did prior with Coach Purcello. Got a little bit of insight about tonight's game, some of the stuff in the upcoming off season, and we'll see what happens from here. So we're about 10 minutes away with regard to tonight's ball game. I'm thinking Mark's looking for a web browser. Yes? Oh. Got it. So, Tony, I tell you what, since we're about 10 minutes away, we probably ought to get some starting lineups in here. And I tell you what, I'll talk about the starting offense for the Trojans, and we'll have you talk about the starting defense for the Blue Devils. How's that?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. The Trojans, some of these guys we talked about last year, and Scott Tennant was reminding me that the old English rock and roll band Jethro Tull is back here tonight as number 7. Their very talented senior quarterback Ian Anderson will be starting at quarterback for the Trojans. Number 13, Michael Miles. He's a wide receiver. He's a junior. He's followed up by number 23, Krishawn Price, wide receiver. Number 25, LeJean Woods, wide receiver. And then in the backfield, we'll probably be talking a lot about Christian Locke. He's a sophomore, as well as Mitchell Jones, who's a junior, number 43 for the Trojans. Out on the offensive line, we've got number 50, Kayvon Robinson Carter. He's a senior, along with number 56, Xavion Biggs. He's a sophomore. Number 57 is Ryan Trent. He's a senior. Number 60 is Brandon Pineda. He's a freshman starting there for the Trojans. Number 66, Marquise Allen, a senior. Rounding out the offensive line is number 68, Brendan Port. He's a junior. And last but not least, number 77, Dominic Pagano. A good paisan there, who's a senior for the Trinity Trojans. So, Tony, I tell you what, we've got the offense for Trinity, and if you can, how about the starting defense for the Wickliffe Blue Devils?
All right, and on Wickliffe's starting defense, we have number 6, Vincent Gargiulo, junior, playing defensive back. Number 8, we have Logan Ruskin, freshman at defensive back. EJ Mester, sophomore, playing defensive back with them. And then I believe rounding out the defensive backs right now will be Chase Bonadillo, sophomore. Number 21, Jude Devaney, junior, also with the backs. Davion Irving, number 23, senior, starting on the D-line tonight. Number 40, we have Montrell Barnon, senior, playing at the D-line. Number 52, Ryan Quinn, sophomore, at linebacker. And then number 64, Kevin McCabe, senior, playing on the line. And then to round out the defense, we have number 72, Blake Promozic, sophomore, on the D-line.
And I think also we've got
number 42. How far I can get him. Number 42, Thomas Wentz, a senior, starting at linebacker tonight.
And there you have the starting lineups for the Trojans of Trinity High School, who are here. Trinity is located over in Garfield Heights. And actually, many, many years ago, I believe that was St. Mary Magdalene. No, that's Willowick. Brain freeze. But we'll move on. But in any case, we got Trinity here tonight, and tonight's game is a Chagrin Valley Conference Metro Division contest, and the Blue Devils are coming into tonight, unfortunately winless in the division, with their only victory coming in the second week of the season against East Tech. And it's kind of interesting, as Mark found out, believe it or not, with the expanded playoff scenario now in the state of Ohio, mathematically the Blue Devils they're hanging on by a thread. So, we'll see what happens tonight, as we'll be getting underway here in about a little under 6.5 minutes. Checking Doppler Devil weather. We've got some clouds overhead, about 74 degrees. Checking the Blue Devil radar, there is some rain activity in the area, so we're just going to have to kind of play it by ear with regard to Mother Nature, and hopefully we'll be able to get this one in before the moisture sets in. The reason we mentioned it is we had a number of people let us know that already a number of tonight's ball games in the Northeast Ohio area have already been postponed or canceled due to weather concerns. But not here at, we toughen it up here in the 44092, and we'll have the Blue Devils and the Trojans underway here rather shortly. So, as I understand it, next week there'll be we're talking playoffs, there'll be some playoff activity here at Wickliffe that'll be soccer related. And Scott, if you are so willing, you could let everybody know about the Blue Devils or Lady Devils with regard to the upcoming playoffs.
Running back, number 43, Nico Jones.
Absolutely, Frank. Happy to do it. So, yes, it is a time for sectional district play in soccer, and both the boys and girls from Wickliffe High School will be hosting playoff games this coming week. The girls are here at Wickliffe Memorial Stadium this coming Monday, October the 18th at 6 p.m. in a sectional semifinal, as they welcome in the Cornerstone Christian Patriots, I believe is who they're playing. And again, that's for the right to advance to the sectional finals. And then the boys will be here the following night, Tuesday, October 19th, and they will host the Wellington Dukes from Lorain County, one of my favorite nicknames in Northeast Ohio, the Wellington Dukes. And that is also a 6 p.m. start, and it's also a sectional semifinal for the right to go to the sectional finals. So,
the Wellington Dukes. I wonder if, like at halftime, if they have like shepherd's pie or pot pie or something of that nature, All right. Well, once again, want to, make it known that tonight's webcast is made possible by way of the Wickliffe Schools Alumni Association, and it's an honor to be webcasting on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live and up on the Wickliffe Schools Alumni Association website. So, I think it's a matter of the Blue Devils are now making their way towards the field. They'll come on out, and the Trojans are over on their sideline. The Trojans will be in their white uniforms with blue helmets and blue numerals. The Devils will be in their, what we kind of affectionately refer to as their home all blues, dark blues, where they've got, their dark blue jerseys and pants and the gold head helmets. So they're doing the PA announcing of the starting defensive lineup for the Blue Devils, and I think then it's just a matter of getting the football teed up and we get underway. I have to say that last night at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was really wonderful. Not only having the ability to honor, Pete Wolfgram and a couple of former students, but it was nice seeing a number of the former inductees there, as well as former faculty. I want to give a shout out to Robert Smith, who was in attendance. Also Ken Rinaldo, who is not only a well-known English teacher here, but was the well-known baseball coach of the Blue Devils in the year 1974, when the Blue Devils went on to win the, at that time, Class AAA state championship here in the state of Ohio. Well, the Devils are out on the field now. They made their way out there. Fight song being played by the marching band here on the brand new turf field that is basically wrapping up its first full football season, and be soon wrapping up in the upcoming weeks, with soccer tournaments and the Blue Devils' participation there. So I think it's just a matter of getting the teams out on the field and we get ourselves underway, and glad to have you with us here on Football Night in America, where it starts in the 44092. So it looks like the Devils are heading out in where they're going to receive the opening kickoff, and heading back deep for Wickliffe. Looks like number 6, Vincent Gargiulo, number 1, Sean Durgantz, and I believe the other one is probably E.J. Metzger. So teeing the ball up for the Trojans. Get you a name and a number here once is number 57, Ryan Trent, is teeing it up there for the Trojans, and the Devils will have it on offense first tonight, and we're about ready to get underway here on the Worldwide Blue Devil Network. Once in a while, so glad to have you with us. We get basically a ground ball that's going to get smothered at the Wickliffe 38-yard line, and there looks like playing shortstop for the Blue Devils was number 10, Chase Bonadio. So the Devils have it 1st and 10 on their own. Looks like they're going to spot it right at the Wickliffe 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Devils. In at quarterback, as he's been all season long, is number 1, Sean Durgantz. Devils break the huddle. They set up in a shotgun formation. Almost looks like a full house backfield with a back on either side of him. Man in motion. Delayed snap there. Looks like it went to Gargiulo was the ball carrier as he went over right guard there for a gain of about 3 out to the Wickliffe 41-yard line, where it's going to make it 2nd and 7 as they send one wide, 2 wide to the left side, 1 wide right. Durgant's going to keep it himself. He's across the 45. He's still on his feet. He's breaking a tackle. He's going to get run out of bounds near the first down marker, where I believe that was number 12. Sean Fuqua had a fistful of jersey and basically got him out of bounds, but he made it out to about the 47-yard line. It's going to make it a 3rd and 1 for the Blue Devils, where he's got Gargiulo in the backfield set up in like a pistol formation. Devils too wide to the right with a slot. Looks like Durgant's now changing the play. Devils stay in the same formation. The snap, they give it to Gargiulo up the middle. Looks like he's going to be right at about, it's going to depend on the spot whether or not he made the first down. He did get to the 48. So I think depending on how they spot the ball will determine. My guess is if it is short, the Devils would probably go for it. And we're going to have an official timeout probably for a measurement here. And just the way the ball is sitting and the way the the chain is on the other side, I'm going to say he made it by the nose of the football. We'll see how well Frank's old fogey glasses are working here, whether or not. Look at that chain crew. Eastwind can chug in faster than that. Oh. 11, about a minute to go here, and it is going to be a first down. And you know what? They should just listen to me. I said by the nose of the football, and he got it.
Got it right on the nose.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do, huh? So it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Blue Devils. They'll have it 1st and 10. Ball on their own 48-yard line. If we're just clicking in, we're just underway. 11 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score. Devils have it first. And now we've got a whistle and what? Well, the Devils are back in the huddle. They're going to send one wide to the right side, one wide to the left in the wing T formation. The snap is back. Gargiulo's got it over right guard. Gets out to about the 50, just a hair inside Trinity, the Trinity side of the field. Be a gain of a little over 2 yards. As Jones was there on the tackle there for Trinity. So 2nd down, 8 to go.
Looks like we have Thomas Wentz now in the backfield.
And Thomas is lining up to the left side of Durgant's. Man in motion. Durgant's going to keep it. And Trinity was not fooled, as Durgant's going to get brought down for a significant loss in the backfield, back at about the Wickliffe 47-yard line. So somebody missed a blocking assignment on the line there for the Blue Devils, and it looked like their number 13, Michael Miles, was able to shoot through there and bring him down there for a loss of about 4 or 5 on that play. So it's going to set up 3rd and 11. The Blue Devils need to get down to the Trojan 42-yard line for a first down. Durgant's rolling to his right. He's looking to throw. He sets. He fires. Completes. Oh, in and out of the hands. I think he was looking for Gargiulo there on the flat. And when in it, it was a catchable ball. And it's going to put the Devils in a punting situation. And coming on to do the punting is number 56, Noah Tellisman. And going back in single safety is number 5, which is Aiden Duncan. We've got, they ran into the punter, and there's no flag, and the ball's going to get downed at about the 20-yard line. I mean, it was a good snap. He got the kick off, and somebody did run into him from Trinity, but no flag on the play. So that's going to turn it over to the Trojans with 9:06 to go and no score here in the first quarter. And it'll be 1st and 10, Trinity. Ball just shy of their 21-yard line. You know, on that punt there, it didn't look like Tellisman was like acting. I mean, they did run into him. In any case, Ian Anderson is in a shotgun formation back at about his 15-yard line. They've got a man in motion as he gives a handoff right up the middle, and good gain there on that, as going right up the middle there looks like was number 26, who is, 28, Christian Locke, the running back for Trinity, and it is a first down. It'll be 1st and 10, the Trojans at their own 32-yard line. Trojans have 2 wide to the left, 1 in a slot. They stay in a shotgun formation. The snap is back. They hand it off again. That looks like number 26, who's still on his feet out over about the 40-yard line, but I don't see a 26 on the.
I think there was a fumble recovery for Wickliffe. Wait.
And it was.
Yep.
So there was a fumble on the play as I was trying to determine. Apparently there is a number 26 for Trinity, but we don't have it on our
sheets.
On our roster. So in any case, it'll be Wickliffe ball now, 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line of Trinity. So let's see if the Devils can cash in on this turnover here, as the running back for the Trojans had a nice gain out to about the 40. Ball got fumbled back a few yards, and the Devils were able to recover. So 8.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, no score. Devils break the huddle. They've got one wide on the left side. Delay to Gargiulo, who goes over right tackle. It fights his way down to about the just inside the 35-yard line. We'll call it a gain of about 3. Where number 25, LeJean Woods, was there to bring him down for Trinity. So it'll be 2nd down, 7 to go. Ball right on the 35. Gargiulo is set in a pistol formation. Well, now he moves to the left side of Durgantz. Devils with 2 on the left side, as Durgantz going to keep it himself as he goes over left tackle, gets down to about the 32-yard line, where coming up from his linebacker position was number 57, Ryan Trent, to basically plant him into the turf. So it'll set up the Devils a 3rd down, 4 to go, 7:30 to go in the first quarter. We're just underway. Hopefully Mother Nature will hold off. No score. Clock running. Devils send 1 wide right, 2 wide to the left with 1 in the slot. And we've got a whistle and a flag, and it looks like we're going to have a penalty against the Blue Devils. Illegal, what they'll call a false start / illegal motion. So we'll go from 3rd and 4 to about 3rd and 9. And, you know, as Mark was talking with Coach Purcello, it's these little mistakes that, probably give a football coach gray hair and sleepless nights. So we'll see what the Devils are now capable of doing with a 3rd and 9. No score here in the first quarter. Devils are in Trojan territory. They need to get to the 28-yard line. There's a little pitch wide to the right side. Gargiulo's got it. He's going to keep on his feet. I think he's going to be right at about the 1st down marker on a quarterback option, as number 12, Sean Fuqua, was there to bring him down, and he's going to be just shy of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and 1. The ball is sitting at the Trojan 29. They need to get to the 28, as the Trojans are stacking the line of scrimmage here to try to stop the Devils. on 4th and 1. And it looks like Durgant's looking over to the sideline, probably changing the play here based on what he's seeing in the defensive formation, as now we've got timeout being taken by Wickliffe. So 6:45 to go here in the first quarter. No score from Wickliffe Memorial Field, high atop the ridge on a beautiful Friday night. As we do with all of the Blue Devil webcasts, at halftime we will step aside and you'll be able to enjoy the Wickliffe Blue Devil Swing Band. I will tell you this, if you enjoy watching their performance, and who doesn't, Scott is standing next to me, he'll probably hit me in the gut, but I'll just say, Vincent Price. That's all I'm going to say. I'm getting, Scott, I have to say that because even with you know what, Scott, I think I see it. It's above the clouds. The Goodyear blimp, you did it. On the night that we've got rain in the forecast, the Devils on a basically a short, quick snap to Gargiulo, to Thomas Wentz, takes the ball right up the middle, good for a first down. He got a gain of about 4 on the play. So it'll be 1st and 10 Wickliffe. Their ball spotted right at the Trinity 25-yard line. So Devils are moving the ball. We'll see what happens here as this upcoming set of downs. As looks like Wentz is staying in as what we'll call like the I-back, lined up in the pistol formation behind Durgant's. The snap, a delay back to Gargiulo, breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to make down to about the 20-yard line, still on his feet. And they kind of decoyed things with Wentz, and Gargiulo went over right guard as number 25, LeJean Woods, was there to bring him down, but not after Gargiulo was able to churn out 5 yards, a good gain there on first down for the Blue Devils. 2nd and 5, ball at the 20. This time Gargiulo lines to the left of Durgant's. The snap is back, and it's going to be Durgant's. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet. He's inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. And LeJean Woods once again there to bring him down. And you can definitely see, based on from the last time I had the chance to see the Blue Devils, the execution tonight is much improved from what we saw earlier this season. So the work that they've been doing in practice thus far, what we've seen tonight, is paying off. So 1st and 10 Wickliffe. They're at the Trinity 14-yard line. Looks like they've got Wentz and an eye behind Durgant's. And on a delay back to Gargiulo, who basically is fighting ahead over left guard, gets down to just inside the 12-yard line. So a gain of a little bit more than 2 on that play. And now we've got a timeout I think we've got a player for Trinity down. So we've got an official's timeout. So 4:52 to go here in the first quarter, no score between the Wickliffe Blue Devils as they're entertaining the Trinity Trojans, who Trojans come in here tonight, I think, with a record of 2 wins and 6 losses. So for most of you that are probably have your sports book out there with Las Vegas, you have to say this is probably one of those winnable games. We'll see what the Devils are capable of doing. And the injured Trojan is number 5, Aiden Duncan, who's being assisted back over to the sideline from the Trojan trainer. Hope he's A-OK. Be able to continue in tonight's contest. The Trojans are coached by Jeff McSweeney as Wickliffe breaks the huddle, and it's going to be 2nd down and 8 with the ball on the Trojan 12-yard line. Snap is back, and you got Wentz, and Wentz is looking like east wind and into the end zone for a Wickliffe Blue Devil touchdown. Thomas Wentz was not going to be denied on that one, ladies and gentlemen. And with 4:38 to go, it's a pleasure to say the Blue Devils are out in front for the first time in a long time. We'll see what I think they're going to, the point after, they'll probably try to, looks like
Colin Casey is out there for the kick, for the extra point. Is it?
No, we got number 28 and Tellisman's 56. So Casey, the snap is back, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So 4:38 to go. The Blue Devils strike first. Wickliffe 7, Trinity nothing. Here's your fight song. And there you have something we haven't been able to say in a while since the East Tech game. The Devils are in the lead here with 4:38 to go in the first quarter, as a 12-yard touchdown run and the turnover by Trinity comes back to haunt them as Wickliffe strikes first, and it's 7-0 Wickliffe. So Noah Tellisman will have it teed up for the Devils, and you got a couple guys back deep there for Trinity. Looks like David McMillan and number 5, Aiden Duncan. They're back at about their 20-yard line. Got a high end-over-end kick there that is going to get fielded there by Duncan. He's across the 20, 25, 30. He's got it across the 30, 40. He's midfield. Nice. He read his blocks beautifully as he gets into Wickliffe territory, where he was finally brought down there by number 23 for the Blue Devils, which is Davion Bamer, who's a freshman. Oh, Davion Irvin, my apologies. So it'll be 1st and 10. Trinity, as they're set up in very good field position in Wickliffe territory on the Wickliffe 48-yard line. An excellent kickoff return there by Duncan. So Anderson is in the shotgun as on a delay. He hands it off there to, looks like I think that was McMillan, number 2, who went over left guard, gets ahead about a gain of 4 to 5 as he gets it down to the Wickliffe 44-yard line. So make it a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for the Trojans. This is their second possession tonight. They find themselves in a 7-0 hole. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. If you're just clicking in, the Devils just scored on a 12-yard Thomas Wentz touchdown run. Snap is back. Anderson looks to throw and has a man open. Went in and out of the hands of number 13, Michael Miles, who was open there at the Wickliffe 35-yard line. So it falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Trojans. As while Miles was open, he did have 3 Blue Devils around him and maybe heard those footsteps and wasn't able to, haul it in. But it was a catchable. It was a pass that should have been caught. We'll put it that way. So this time they send 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right, 1 in the backfield. They on a delayed handoff. We got a first down and more as number 2 McMillan goes over left guard for a first down and more. Actually, I was just taking a look at number 66, Marquise Allen. Wow, it's a large young man. Marquise Allen, a senior, 6'4", 395 pounds. In high school, ladies and gentlemen, as it'll be 1st and 10 Trinity at the Wickliffe 26-yard line, and we have an official's timeout. We've got a Blue Devil down. Once again, tonight's webcast is probably the last of the home games this season for Wickliffe. And the reason I say probably is that there is, because of the way the playoff regions and divisions are, there is a slight chance that the game that was canceled with Fairport Harbor might need to be made up in week 11, and that would if that does happen, that would happen here at Wickliffe High School.
Seemed like the down Blue Devil was number 72, Blake Promozic. Seems like he is walking up the field fine, little gimped, but strong kid. I can say that much. Very strong kid.
Yeah, he's up and around on the sideline, so we're going to get back at it here as the Trojans have 2 wide to the left side, 2 wide to the right. Anderson looking to throw. He sets, he's firing, he's looking into the end zone. Wide open, caught for the touchdown was to number, I believe that's number 2, David McMillan. Oh, I'm sorry, number 3, Quincy Haynes. So a 26-yard touchdown pass from Anderson to Haynes, and Anderson had all the time in the world to throw, and looks like Trinity's going to set up in an odd formation as they throw a quick out pass to the left flat, completed for a 2-point conversion. I'll get you a name and number here as the Trojans set up with their offensive line and wide receivers all the way to the left side of the field, and was completed, brought it in. So with the 2-point conversion, 3:13 to go here in the first quarter. The score now is Trinity 8 and the Wickliffe Blue Devils 7. Making my way up here to the Memorial Field tonight, I have to say that very significant progress on the new construction here with regard to the new, what will be the new K through 12 Wickliffe School campus. Look, as I understand it, they're ahead of schedule and well within budget. So congratulations to all involved in the construction crew and the Wickliffe school system and the school board with regard to, in the initial phases, being able to manage that project in a great way. So teeing the ball up now is number 57, Ryan Trent. Looks like Gargiulo's back deep for Wickliffe at about the 12-yard line. Trent on basically a line drive. I think that was picked up by Thomas Wentz, who basically just
midfield breaks a tackle, gets down to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, I'm sorry there, Mark. He caught that as like a line drive and just took off right up the middle and got across the 50-yard line down to about the Trinity. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the, well, folks, I think looks like Wickliffe's going to have it 1st and 10 at the Trinity 48. So great return there by Wentz, because once again, he was not to be denied. And I got to, Tony, I got to tell you, just what we've seen from Thomas tonight, I would just feed him the ball, because if they can't stop him,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to do.
I think the mix between Vincent and Sean is very good. They don't know which way they'll go with it. As of right now, they hand off the ball to Vincent, bounces it outside, cuts it back inside for a gain about 1 yard.
Yeah, Gargiulo there went over, looks like left guard, as LeJean Woods, whose name we've called a number of times tonight. Yeah, it looks like a gain of about 2. It'll set up 2nd and 8 for Wickliffe. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the first. If you're just clicking in, the score is now Trinity 8, Wickliffe 7. Trojans just having scored on a 26-yard touchdown pass from Anderson to Haynes. Trojans look like they're going to jam the line of scrimmage. And this time, Wentz again, he's inside the 30.
Gets to the 30. And stumbles to the.
He stumbled to the ground at about the 23-yard line, and if he doesn't stumble, he was gone. And Tony, like I said before, I would just keep feeding him the ball because it doesn't look like they can bring him down at all. So it'll be 1st and 10 Wickliffe. Ball at the Trinity 23-yard line. Dragant's over on the sideline getting the play call from Coach Purcello. He heads into the huddle, clock running. We're at 2 minutes to go here in the first. Devils send 2 wide to the right side, 1 wide to the left. Gargiulo now in the backfield to the right side of Dragant's. As Dragant's is going to keep it himself, and he's going to get met just beyond the line of scrimmage as he tried to get over right tackle. And the Trojans were not fooled on that one. As looks like number 13, Michael Miles, was there to help corral him after a gain of about 1. So it'll be 2nd and 9. The ball sitting at the Trojan 23-yard line. Here on this beautiful, brand new Wickliffe Memorial Field that was debuted earlier this season here, this fall. Devils break the huddle. A lot of movement there in the backfield. They're in the full wing T setup. Snap is back. Gargiulo's got it. He's looking for some blockers as he gets over right tackle. He gets maybe another yard, and at least on this series, the last couple plays, the Trojans have kind of been able to get a good idea as to what it is the Devils are doing on the ball faking in the backfield. We'll set up the Devils moderately long, 3rd and 8. They've got to get down to the Trinity 14-yard line for a first down. We're about to just under 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Devils down a point as it's Thomas Wentz again, and he's just bull rushing. He's inside the 20 down to about the 19 as Michael Miles was there, and he had to like bear hug to get him down, and that's pretty much going to run out the first quarter. And it does look like Thomas is maybe a little winded here as the first quarter's come to an end here at Wickliffe Memorial Field and up high on the ridge here in Wickliffe, Ohio. And after 1 quarter of play, it's the Trinity Trojans 8 and the Wickliffe Blue Devils 7. So it'll be an interesting decision here for Coach Purcello. When we get back at it, it'll be 4th down, 6 to go. The ball is just outside the Trinity 19-yard line. They've got to make it down to about the 14 for a first down. The Devils staying in a long sideline huddle with the coaching staff, and actually the same for Trinity. So probably a lot of communication from the coaching boxes down to the sidelines for both schools with regard to how we'll attack things here as the second quarter is about to get underway. So we'll see. And does not look like Noah Tellisman is making his way out on the field. So I think the Devils are going to
Wickliffe will start the third quarter. 4th down and 6 from the Trinity 19-yard line.
they're going to set things up with Thomas Wentz in the backfield. He's going to be to the right side of Dragant's. Dragant's looks like he's going to throw. He sets. He's under some pressure. He's going to take off. He's still on his feet, and it looks like I think he got it. I think he got it. Yep, they're signaling first down. And I think it's because Dragant's is tall, and where they first wrapped him up, he was short, but he leaned ahead. And they are now signaling first down. So the Devils do convert on fourth down. It'll be first and 10 Wickliffe. The ball at the Trinity. They've got it marked at the 13. In the backfield now is Thomas Wentz. And now we've got Trinity taking a timeout here. So just underway here with 11:44 to go here in the first half. The score, Trinity 8 and the Blue Devils 7. But the Devils are within the red, they're in that proverbial red zone, and we'll see what, if they're able to convert and find their way into the end zone. So one of the things I was alluding to or mentioning earlier, and believe it or not, even with the record that the Devils have thus far this year, which is 1 win and a fair number of losses, they are mathematically not eliminated yet from the playoffs. The state of Ohio has expanded the playoffs, and so this is that time of year now where there's all that jockeying for position with regard to playoffs and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens based on tonight's game between Trinity and Wickliffe. Thomas Wentz to the left of Durgantz. Trinity showing we got a flag and what? They're going to get the Blue Devils for false start. They'll back up Wickliffe 5 back to about the 18-yard line. Durgantz making his way back to the huddle after consulting with Coach Purcello on the sideline. And as they set up, it'll now be in the backfield to the left of Durgantz is Gargiulo. Devils with 2 to the right side. Gargiulo's got on a delay. He's going to get met at the line of scrimmage. And the Trojans were not fooled on that one, as it'll basically be no gain on that play, as he tried to get over right tackle. As number 23, Christian Price, was there to wrap him up for the Trojans. Trinity's got some good-sized guys on matter of fact, on defense. Looks like number 68, Brendan Port. He's 5'11", 250. As now Durgantz, well, at first he was alone in the backfield, but now he's got Wentz and a pistol behind him. As Durgantz, nobody got fooled on that one, as I think Durgantz was looking to throw, and he had no time at all, as he's going to get wrapped up and dropped back at the Wickliffe 22-yard line. And the Devils, after having a first down at the 13, they're actually going the wrong way, as it's going to bring up third and, wow, they're at the 27, and they got to get down to the, looks like they got to get down to about the 4-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 24. This is one of those where you try to get half of it back here and then convert on 4th down. As Durgantz looking to throw, he's under pressure, and he's going to get like 3 different Trojans sacked him back at the 40-yard line. And, wow. One of those was Christian Price. I think Miles was in there. And here's one of those where 4th and 35 for Wickliffe, and they're going to have to send out the punting team as Tellisman is back in punt formation, and Duncan is back at about the 10. High end over end kick. Duncan gets it at about the 6-yard line, is going to get brought down as he got over about the 10. I'm surprised he didn't let that go to see if it would go in the end zone for a touchback. But Bonadio was there to bring him down, and this will set up the Trojans with 9:12 to go here in the first half. Trinity up on this one by a score of 8-7, and they'll be starting on their own 12-yard line. Odd to think that about 2 minutes ago, Wickliffe was right down in this territory with a first down, and they ended up going the wrong way, and they ended up having to punt. So we'll see what happens as Anderson sets up in a shotgun with one back in the backfield, man in motion. The snap, they hand it off to, wow, great, as McMillan took and tried to get wide to the right side there. I think he might have made it back to the line of scrimmage, where there to pursue him for the Blue Devils was Mesker. Great open field tackle there. And they marked it a gain of 1, so we'll call it 2nd and 9, and now we've got a whistle and a timeout being taken by Wickliffe. So 8:41 to go here in the first half, and the score, Trinity 8 and Wickliffe 7. The second half will, after being entertained by the Wickliffe Swing Band, will have, I guess we could call it Tennant squared on the play-by-play. Scott and Mark will take over and bring you the second half action here on the Worldwide Blue Devil Network. An honor and a pleasure, which, Mark, this is, how many years have we been doing this? 17 years. I think we were doing this back when Christ was being born in Bethlehem or something like that, right? But been a pleasure, I have to tell you, to be able to watch the Devils, evolve every year, and we've seen a lot of great football from Wickliffe. We've seen a lot of great football teams come in here and play the Blue Devils. So we'll see what happens as it's going to be second. We're going to call it a long 9. The ball just outside the 12. They've got one back, and we've got Anderson looking to throw. He's throwing long, and it's going to be incomplete. There was a little bit of hand checking there at about the 40-yard line. No flag. He was looking for Price down the right sideline, and back there in defensive coverage for Wickliffe was Logan Russian. Did I get it right?
I think it was either Logan Rushkin or number 10 Chase Bonadio back there on the coverage with him.
I thought it was it looked like Rushkin was back there. But in any case, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Well, as they're flooding the left side of the field. Anderson looking to throw. He sets, he fires, and it's going to fall incomplete there as he was looking. He had wide open there, number 11, Jordan Thompson. And that's going to, there on the coverage there for Wickliffe was number 23, Davion Irvin. So we'll see what happens here as the Trojans are setting up in punt formation. Gargiulo is going to be back at about the 50. Ian Anderson, the quarterback, also does the punting for the Trojans. Snap is back. Left-footed kick, high end over end kick. Fair catch by Gargiulo as he corrals it in at just between the 47 and 48-yard line of Trinity. So with 8:20 to go here in the first half, the Blue Devils will have it 1st and 10 to see if they can storm back and take the lead here as they find themselves down by a single point here, 8-7 here in the first half. And thus far, so far so good weather-wise, keeping our eye on the weather, and hopefully we'll get this one in before Mother Nature decides to change things. 75 minutes. Marky Mark lets us know from Doppler Devil radar. We'll see what happens as Durgance has it on a delay. Wentz up the middle. He was able to barrel inside the 45 down to about the 43-yard line. where Duncan, number 5 for the Trojans, was there to bring him down. A gain of about 4 on that play. Clock running. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Devils have one wide to the left, one wide to the right in the wing T setup. As looks like Gargiulo there trying to go up the middle on a delay. Gets a gain of about 2 as he, where Trent was able to bring him down. Was able to get down to the Trojan 41-yard line. He's got to get to the Trinity 37. So we've got 3rd and 4 for Wickliffe. And you can tell that Trinity's made a few defensive adjustments here. They're kind of jamming the line of scrimmage here, expecting Wickliffe to run some kind of a delay. And on a pitch to the outside, you got Gargiulo. He breaks a tackle, the 30. He's got the first down. He's going to get just inside the 30. Gargiulo looks like he's going to be a bit slow getting up. And Wickliffe, they read it well. They saw that Trinity was trying to jam the line of scrimmage, so they ran that option where Durgance took off towards the right and pitched it to Gargiulo. And it looked like as he was going down, the training staff is attending to him now, but when we get back at it, it'll be 1st and 10 Wickliffe. Ball at the Trinity 29-yard line. Let's hope that this is something minor because Gargiulo and Wentz have basically been the key running backs for the Blue Devils this season. Yeah, it looks like they're tending to something knee or calf related. Next week, the Devils will be on the road. They'll be at Cuyahoga Heights as they're helping Gargiulo up. He's moving rather gingerly. That's not a good sign. Yeah. Looks like something with regard to his probably right ankle or right knee. Let's hope it's nothing serious. He's been a key member of this Blue Devil squad this season. So 6:54 to go here in the first half. The Devils find themselves 1 point down, 8-7. As it'll be 1st and 10 at the Trinity 29-yard line. Wentz now in probably be the featured back in the backfield there with Durgance. As Durgance on a keeper over left guard, as there to bring him down was number 50, Kayvon Robinson Carter. And it was a gain of about a little over 2 on that play. Ball sitting right at about the Trinity 27-yard line. So 2nd and 8, clock running just under 6.5. Wentz being moved by his quarterback from the right to the left. The snap, Durgance going to try to string it wide to the left side. He's still on his feet. He's going to get met after he gets just inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. As number 43, Mitchell Jones, was coming up to pay his respects to the Wickliffe quarterback, and we've got an official timeout on the field, and down on the field for Wickliffe, I think, is Durgance, the Wickliffe starting quarterback. So the first half's not been very friendly for the Devils injury-wise. We've got, looks like Durgance is down, Gargiulo's down. Wentz was hobbling for a bit.
I don't think that is Sean. Sean's up here, standing up on the other side with the huddle. I can't tell who. Is that? Could that be Wentz?
Well, once they're able to get somebody up, as they are doing so, we'll get a name and a number. Pass it along here. And yep, back on his feet is Thomas Wentz. So the Wickliffe backfield is, I think my phone's going off. They're trying to see if they can bring the rusted left-handed Goomba from Grand Boulevard in there to, try and do something, as Wentz will have to come out for at least one play. Looks like Gargiulo's still on the sideline, as we'll see what the Devils now will be able to dial up, where it's 3rd down and 4. Ball sitting at the Trinity 23-yard line. So this will be an interesting challenge, as in the backfield will probably be E.J. Mester. Actually, it looks like Mester's going to be in at quarterback. No, Mester's to the right of Durgance. We've got a whistle. We've got that one official is very sensitive to illegal motion. So they're going to nail the Devils with a false start. So we're going to go from 3rd and 4 to about 3rd and 9. As they're going to back it up to about the Trinity 28-yard line. Devils have to get down to the Trinity 19 for a 1st down. So Durgance is in the shotgun. Looks like he's got Mester to his right. Durgance looking to throw. He's got a lot of pressure. He fires a little bit low. It's going to fall incomplete, as he had open there in the flat there for Wickliffe was number 10, Chase Benadio, down at about the 17-yard line. So chances are we'll see the Devils being here at the 28-yard line with 5:22 to go here in the first half. The Devils will obviously be going for it. Thus far, the few times Wickliffe tried to throw the ball, the protection for Durgance has not been, as tight as you'd like to see it. And once again, he had 3 Trojans breathing down his neck, and probably if he had a bit more time to set and throw, would have been a higher chance to possibly complete that. Another timeout being taken by the Blue Devils here. So with 5:22 to go, the Devils find themselves 1 point shy by a score of 8-7, as we've got what's probably the last home football game of the 2021 football season, as the Wickliffe Blue Devils are hosting the Trojans from Trinity. Both teams basically taking a lot of time in the sideline huddles with their respective coaching staffs. Actually looking out over the stands. Nice crowd for both teams, especially with the forecast of possible crazy weather here within the next hour to hour and a half. So Devils are back out, ready to see what they can do here on 4th and 9 from the Trinity 28. Snap is back. Durgance looking to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to get hit and brought down at about the Trinity 43-yard line, and Durgance is now slow to get up. As number 50 for the Trojans on a blitz came blasting through Kayvon Robinson-Carter, as the training crew is making their way out on the field to tend to Durgance. And on that loss, that's going to turn it over to Trinity. And rather than possibly pinning Trinity deep in their own territory. They're going to start with the football in actually good field position, as they'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. Durgant's down on one knee, dealing with the Blue Devil trainer. At the rate we're going, we have to make sure that we have enough people available to play the rest of the contest, as Durgant's probably just got the wind knocked out of him as he's making his way over to the sideline under his own power. So as we look with 5:15 to go here in the first half, the Devils are out of timeouts. Trinity still has 2 timeouts and sitting on an 8-7 lead here in the first half. Trinity scoring on a 26-yard Anderson to Haynes touchdown pass, and the Devils scoring first on a 12-yard Thomas Wentz run over left tackle. Looking at the Wickliffe sideline, almost looks like you'll cue up the MASH music. You got Durgant sitting down on the turf. They're tending to Gargiulo and Wentz. So we'll see what happens now as the Trojans take over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball is now marked on their 40-yard line. Anderson is in the shotgun formation on a quick pass into the backfield, and the Devils were all over it as they're shooting the gap was number 23, Davion Irvin, and a very favorable spot because they had him at least 3 to 4 yards in the backfield, and they've only marked it as a loss of 1. I wonder if this is the same officiating crew that was doing the Chargers-Browns game last Sunday out in California. This will set up a 2nd and 11, should really be like 2nd and 14, but clock running 4.5 to go here in the first half. They've got 3 wide to the right side as on a delay, good as he's off to the races is number 2, and it's going to be basically a long touchdown run there for David McMillan, as McMillan got over left tackle and nobody touched him. So a 61-yard touchdown run there by McMillan with 4:14 to go. And once again, they set up in a very interesting formation where the offensive line is to the left side, just the center and the backs, as Anderson's going to take off and keep it himself and run it in for the 2-point conversion. So on that keeper, that's going to push the score out to Trinity 16, Wickliffe 7, with 4:17 to go here in the first half. That's a couple times that Trinity's been able to run the ball where there was wide open spaces for the running back, and McMillan, the 5'9" sophomore, was not to be denied as he took off, and nice 61-yard touchdown run, as we'll see what the Devils are capable of doing here with 4:17 to go here in the first half. And as a reminder, Trinity will start the second half with the ball, as the Devils had it first and took the opening kickoff back in the first quarter. So teeing it up now for Trinity is number 57, Ryan Trent. And for Wickliffe, going back, it's basically a host of, looks like at the deepest spot is number 9, E.J. Mester, the sophomore, flanked by number 7. As we'll see what happens here. Basically looks like a ground ball. It's going to get picked up there at about the 25 for Wickliffe. Nice return there by the Blue Devils by number 21. Jude Devaney. We don't get a chance to call his name and number all that often, but was able to get it out over the 40 to about the 42. Now they're going to mark it back at about the 41-yard line of Wickliffe.
First percent Wickliffe at their own 41-yard line.
So it'll be Devils with a fresh set of downs as Durgant's now making his way back onto the field and the huddle. So probably after having gotten shaken up on that last series. 4:10 to go here in the first half. 16-7 Trinity. The snap back on a delay as the Devils hand it to number 9, E.J. Mester. As Robinson Carter brought him down, no gain on the plays. He tried to get there over left tackle. Here's where the Devils need that talent of Gargiulo and Thomas Wentz. Gargiulo still on the sideline being tended to by the training staff. Same with Wentz. Clock running, be 2nd and 10 for Wickliffe as the defensive adjustments that have been made by Trinity have been able to stymie the Blue Devil offense as Durgantz basically tries to go up the middle himself. No gain as there to bring him down was number 23, Krishawn Price, and we've got a late flag. We'll see what the preliminary call is here as the we've got it looks like it was unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams. So basically, penalties will offset. It happened after the play, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 for Wickliffe. The ball sitting out at their 41-yard line. As with the injuries to Gargiulo and Thomas Wentz, the featured backs are E.J. Metzger and I think Chase Benadio. As you got to figure they're going to be bringing Durgantz on the keeper, basically goes over left tackle, gets ahead for maybe a yard to about the 42-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th and 9 for Wickliffe. The tackle made there by Mitchell Jones for the Trojans. As heading back in a single safety is number 5, Aiden Duncan. He's going to be back at about the Trinity 30 as is that Tellisman back in punt formation for Wickliffe. He's back standing at the Wickliffe 28-yard line. They bounce the snap into him, and he's going to, the ball is still on the ground as picked up by Wickliffe is number 64.
Kevin
and
McCabe.
McCabe picked it up, but the officials should have blown it dead the moment they corralled him. And they are going to spot it down at the 20-yard line. And the snapping issues for Wickliffe continue as the Trojans are going to be set up basically in the red zone. Now, wait a minute. Okay, yes, it is at the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Trinity at the Wickliffe 20-yard line, and we've got 1:55 to go as here in the second quarter, the wheels have kind of come off the wagon a little bit, so to speak, as Trinity sitting on a 16-7 lead and looking to gain more as they send one wide left, one wide right. They have now Anderson is up under center the handoff there to McMillan, I'm sorry, gets inside the 15 down to about the 11. He's going to be just shy of the first down, needed yardage. And once again on that left side, he had a wide open hole and was able to chew up the yardage. Now they've moved it back to about the 12-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 2. They need to make the 10-yard line. Clock just under a minute and a half to go. Anderson up under center, puts a man in motion. And again, the pitch to McMillan going wide right. He's inside the 10, 5, touchdown, Trinity. So that's the second time McMillan was able to get into the end zone. So with 1:09 to go here in the first half, the Trojans have now stretched their lead as they set up in a very interesting formation. Actually, take a look at number 66. He could play offensive line all by himself, actually. So they're going for 2. Anderson alone in the backfield, looking to throw. He sets, he fires into the end zone as completes it to Duncan for the 2-point conversion. With 1:09 to go here in the first half. It's Trinity 24 and the Wickliffe Blue Devils 7. So in the first quarter, the Devils struck first, take a 7-0 lead, and the Trojans have basically been able to, rip off 24 unanswered points as the Devils will get it one more time as they're sending back number 7, Nunzio Zanaska, and number 9, E.J. Mester. And it might be Ruskin over there on the 20. Trent's got it teed up at the 40. Oh, and Deshaundra Gantz is back there. Basically another bouncing ground ball picked up by Mester at the 15, the 20, 25, 30, and he's going to get brought down at the Wickliffe 30-yard line with exactly 1 minute to go here. So see if the Devils are able to make some magic happen with 1 minute to go here as they have it 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. As we do with all the webcasts, we'll step aside at halftime so you can enjoy the Blue Devil Swing Band. Devils have a wide receiver wide left and right as on a delayed handoff there to number 23, Davion Irvin, gets wide to the left side, gets out over the 35, near about the 36. Devils they can't stop the clock. So gain on that play was about 7. They got out to about the 37-yard line. Probably the last play of the first half. Durgance has one wide left, wide right. Trojans again on the delay to Irvin. Same play. This time the Trojan, they were ready for it as he was trying to get wide to the left side, and a host of Trojans were able to come up as number 77, Dominic Pagano, was able to bring him down. And with that, it's going to bring an end to the first half of our action here tonight. The first half here between Wickliffe and Trinity with the score, the Trojans 24 and the Blue Devils 7. So we're going to step aside here where we'll have the entertainment from the Blue Devil Swing Band in the second half, where Mark and Scott Tennant will be able to bring you all the action here on the Worldwide Blue Devil Network.
by members of the Swing Band Senior Class. We kick things off with the first solo single released by British heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne. Join us as we all go off the rails on A Crazy Train. For no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. This final team goes out to everyone who, in their younger days, attended a midnight showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, in a theater, back before cell phones and the internet. You may have an AARP card now, but you're still pretty cool in our book. Join the swing band as we pay homage to one of the great folk classics as we do the Time Warp again. The Wickliffe Swing Band thanks you for your very kind attention this evening. Good luck to both teams and both bands throughout the rest of the season. And as always, gentlemen, if you purchased a 50-50 raffle ticket, you'll want to take those out now. In just a moment, we will announce our winning number. Tonight's winning 50-50 ticket is yellow. This is a yellow ticket. And if you have the winning number, you will Shots and Flames for $356.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after another outstanding performance by the Wickliffe Swing Band. My name's Scott Tennant. I am alongside my brother Mark Tennant, and we are back here at Wickliffe Memorial Stadium, where your halftime score is the Trinity Trojans 24 and the Wickliffe Blue Devils 7. And Mark, I think Frank alluded to it near the end of the first half there when he said the wheels came off the wagon there. This was a pretty entertaining, competitive game for a while, 8-7 for quite a bit, and then their Blue Devils have experienced some key injuries. I think that we can get into right now. And go ahead.
Well, it's funny, Scott, because for halftime, and this has been this way for the last couple of halftimes, the visiting team has not gone to the visitors' locker room, which is probably 100 yards or so. And they had actually stayed out on the field. And I would bet that Thomas Wentz and and Vincent Gargiulo probably wish they didn't have to make that walk, because they did, and they're still not back yet.
With the construction going on, it's an even longer walk than normal. It's a little circuitous, I should say. But Mark, speaking of Vincent Gargiulo and Thomas Wentz, Tony went down and did a little reconnaissance gathering, and found out that unfortunately both of those young men will be out for the remainder of tonight's game. In Vincent's case, I think it was an ankle injury that he suffered. And Thomas's case, it is a potential concussion, something in that area. I think Thomas exhibited the type of symptoms that that led to trainer Hannah Reinhardt and the medical staff and training staff erring on the side of caution to rule him out. So we wish the best to both of those young guys, who both of whom were playing really hard, having a good game in the first half. And boy, Mark, it just seemed after those two went out, and even Sean Durgance was, shaken up a couple of times, that the air really came out of the Blue Devils, and Trinity broke a couple of long plays, and suddenly here we are with the Trojans holding a 24-7 halftime lead as we approach the start of the third quarter.
And, number 42, Thomas Wenz, actually, just one of the team leaders here of this Blue Devil team, one of the few seniors, and
the only returning starter from last year.
Right.
The one and only.
And, when he went down, and it's funny because when I saw them treating Vincent on the bench, I was looking for number 42 and didn't see him, so they must have walked him back to the locker room long before the first half ended, because I didn't see him on the sidelines for a while once he came out from that injury. And, it looked, at first, we thought they were just being, careful with him from a physical standpoint. I really didn't even think about him possibly having a concussion, so I hope he gets better.
So, absolutely. And, one thing we didn't mention tonight, Mark, is that the Devils have already been out with one of their starting linemen, number 75, Mitchell Lindsay, nursing an injury this past week after the Independence game. So Mitch not even dressed tonight, and that is a big loss from a big young man, the 6'6", 320-pound sophomore Mitchell Lindsay. So hope to see him back next week against Cuyahoga Heights, as we also hope to see Vincent Gargiulo and Thomas Wenz as well. So
Tom, I'm sorry, Scott.
Go ahead.
Walking back out to the bench, number 64 had to be helped actually by two teammates, and he is a starter on defense, Kevin McCabe, senior, 6', 266, and it looks like a left hip or something. I'm guessing we're not going to see number 64 either come in.
Yeah, well, if you remember on that fumbled snap, that he was the one that actually picked it up, I believe, right? That actually picked it up and then ran backwards down here. And, boy, he really got...
must have got a turn.
Yeah.
Something with that left leg for sure. So we can all but guarantee we're not going to see number 64, Kevin McCabe, either. And just another, rough injury there to that offensive and defensive line. So we'll see what happens and see what kind of adjustments Coach Marsh Porcello makes here in the second half. And we've got about 1:15 on the clock. It seems like that was a short halftime. I know what I wanted to ask you since we got a second. Wonderful halftime show. Love the selections that the band played. But when the week happens, does the home team know that the visiting team is or is not going to have a band there?
Generally, yeah. So in this case, I as the swing band announcer, I was alerted by Pam Graves, the director, that in fact we don't have to worry about timing so much, because normally what happens is you get about 9 minutes to do your show, and when you're the home team, you go second, and you're kind of at the mercy of the visiting band.
Right.
And so a lot of times she'll tell me, cut the intros down or whatever. I never do, but I tell her I do. I think it makes her feel better. So, but yeah, so in this case we knew.
But so when you did know, so there is no chance of expanding a show, like
right. You've already the band at Wednesday night rehearsal and at school throughout the week. They've put together a very specific sequence of how they're not only what songs they're playing, but also how they're transitioning from one formation to the next.
Gotcha.
And,
kind of game planning. Just game plan Wednesday is, and they
there you
install
go.
it. Huh?
There you go. Actually, this week, for one of the few times Wednesday night rehearsal was on Tuesday night, because we had a soccer game here on Wednesday night. We had both the senior nights for the Lady Devils girls soccer team and the Blue Devils boys soccer team. This past week, the Lady Devils in their senior night, 6-1 victors over the Grand Valley Mustangs, and the boys actually battled to a very entertaining scoreless draw against the Geneva Eagles. And as we mentioned prior to the start of tonight's game, both those teams will be hosting soccer playoff games here this week. The boys on Tuesday against the Wellington Dukes, and the girls here Monday against Cornerstone Christian.
Wow, where are they? Where's Wellington Dukes in Wellington, Ohio? I guess
that is Lorain County. Out in Lorain County, we had a very entertaining girls game against them in a playoff game some years ago that was won on a Joel Banks overtime golden goal winner. That would have been the fall of 2018, as a matter of fact, so just a few years ago. So now the Wellington boys come out to Wickliffe. So
gotcha.
So number 56, Noah Tellisman, is going to tee up the ball for Wickliffe here to start the second half as the Blue Devils will kick off, finding themselves trailing 24-7. Noah, he and teammate Colin Casey, soccer players playing football, and this is going to be an onside kick to the right side, and it's still live, still down on the turf, and I believe Wickliffe has it.
They do. I believe they do.
That bounced off of about 3 people. And
who came up with it?
And look at that.
Is that Mester?
That is number 9, E.J. Mester, I believe, who was able to pick up that ball. And boy, what a gutsy special teams call. But really, why not? You know, at this point, when
Right.
you're struggling a little bit at 1-6 and or 1-7, and you're trailing 24-7 at half, and you're having to kick off. And here's Wickliffe recovering an onside kick, and they will take over 1st and 10 at the Trinity 41-yard line.
Yeah, it was very nice. Nice onside kick, bounced up, hit a couple of players, and Mester was able to come down with it. And, you know, he's just such a little person among these larger bodies. And for him to get under those two and recover that, great job at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils.
So Durgans barks out the signals. And he is going to fake the handoff to Davion Irvin, then hand off inside. We'll get you a ball here in a minute, but there was not much daylight there for the Wickliffe running back. And it may have been met. Oh, it was Davion Irvin. I thought they faked to Irvin, but in fact that was a handoff to Irvin. And he is stepping up here, as is E.J. Mester, with the injuries to Vince Gargiulo and Thomas Wenz. So loss of 1 on that play. 2nd down and 11. The ball resting on the Trinity 42. Durgans talking to his line and talking to Irvin, who's 2 yards behind him. He takes it. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw. It's caught by Mester. Mester eludes one tackler across the 35, down across the 30-yard line. And that is going to be enough for a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, nice little pitch and catch to Mester over here on the near side. Number 11 for the Trojan, Jordan Thompson was one to bring him down, but not before he made it to the 30. And a 1st down for the Blue Devils. Nice little, again, just pitch and catch here to the near side and get what he can for E.J. Mester, number 9.
That's a pickup of 12 on that play on a 2nd and 11. Durgans is going to bring the play in after consulting with Coach Mars Purcello. Number 74, Alex Cunningham, the freshman, who has been battling some injuries back at the center position this week. 1st and 10, Wickliffe. Durgans takes, is going to keep it himself across the 30, spins out of contact, and is stopped by a host of Trojans there.
Mitchell Jones, number 43, shot in there and was able to get him for a very, very little gain.
Number 13, Michael Miles, also in to clean up. That'll be a pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9. Wickliffe, after recovering the onside kick to start this second half, with the ball at the Trinity 29-yard line. Devils trailing in this one by a score of 24-7. As they look to come back and pick up their 2nd win of the season. Durgans is going to give to Irvin, who has some daylight around the left side across the 25, 20, 15. He's finally pushed out of bounds at about the 11-yard line.
Number 57, Ryan Trent, with an elbow, and the last line of defense for the Trojans, but not before the Devils come up with another 1st down. Nice run, nice sweep here to the near side again, like the play calling.
So that's a pickup of 16 on that play. Some good blocking up front, good running. The left side of that Devils line, opening up some space. First and 10 at the Trojan 13-yard line. Durgans takes it and gives to Irvin, who gets out of one tackle across the 10 and takes it down to just shy of the 5-yard line. Hard running by the senior, number 23, Davion Irvin, who, as we said, is in there after the dual injuries to Vince Gargiulo and Thomas Wenz.
Nice little run, was able to get out of the tackle, number 5, Aiden Duncan. Not before he can pick up more yards. Jordan Thompson was the Trojan that was able to knock him out of bounds, but now 2nd down and 3 for the Blue Devils. Nice run on 1st down.
So pickup of 7, ball resting at the 6-yard line. Number 7, Nunzio Zimnaska, split to the left. There's a receiver to the right. That's a handoff to Irvin, and he tried to go off tackle right, and Michael Miles came up and closed whatever hole was there in an awful hurry.
I actually thought he was going to make that third wave before, and boy, Miles just shot in and was able to get him. Actually for a loss. Lost a couple on that, so it's going to be 3rd and about 4 for the Blue Devils. Nice play, because that hole opened up quick, and it shut awfully doggone quick.
So officially no gain on that play. 3rd down and 3 at the 6-yard line. Durgans with a bit of a longer count, and then he looks over to the sideline. Barks out some instructions to his line. He's going to roll to his right, and he's going to take it down, tuck it in, and he lunges forward and just shy of the goal line. Nice run there by Sean Durgans.
I think he was trying to leave his feet a little bit by the time he got up out of the 1.5 and see if he could get across that pylon with the ball. Wasn't quite able to do that, but
in any case, that's going to be good enough for a first down. It'll be first down and goal.
Yeah, that's right. They only had to get to the 4. Nice job.
So 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, and I'll tell you, Sean Durgans, for a kid that hadn't played quarterback before, really has shown marked improvement week to week.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's a tough runner. He's an athletic kid to begin with. We first knew of him as a basketball player. And now we have a whistle. Timeout, Trinity.
Baseball as well. Isn't he a baseball player?
I believe
he
is. Well, nowadays, Mark, when you're a Division VI football school, you have the same core of kids that usually play, right? Football, basketball, baseball, with some interchangeable, you know, some parts that move in and out there. So timeout, Trinity. 8:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Trojans leading this one 24-7, but Wickliffe knocking on the door as they have a 1st and goal at the Trojans' 1-yard line. And this is the kind of situation where I'd love to see Thomas Wenz just barrel in if we had him available.
Right.
Because, boy, we saw him when he was available there in the first half. He runs with purpose, and
well, I see Thomas is down on the sidelines. I just saw him for the first time. He's in shorts and a jersey, street clothes, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, especially when he's on defense from his linebacker position, he personifies what Philadelphia Flyers coach Fred Shiro used to say. You always say, we get to the puck first and we arrive in ill humor. And that is Thomas around the ball as well. So the two teams now out of their timeout huddles. 1st and 3 feet to go for pay dirt for Wickliffe. Sean Durgans with Davion Irvin to his immediate left. He takes it, and the ball's on the turf, and it's going to be recovered by Trinity. Oh, my goodness, Mark, that is the 2nd consecutive week in which the Devils have had the ball at the 1-yard line of the opponent and fumbled it away.
I actually thought it was a direct snap to Irvin, and I actually thought it was a good fake from Durgans to his right. I didn't even see the ball until Trinity was on top of it. I actually thought it was a really well-executed play until I saw the result.
Well, whatever happened, Sean did not expect either the ball to come when it did or where it did.
Yeah.
Certainly. So, wow, that's unfortunate. So, Trinity able to get the turnover, and the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Tough one. And, you know, Mark, we've been talking about weather all night, and we hear the rain is not too far off. We were facing some weather delays last week in Independence in a game that started late. Ended up being a 40-6 Wickliffe Blue Devil loss. So there's a handoff to Michael Miles over the left side. He's going to take it out to about the 10-yard line.
Michael Miles, the ball carrier.
He was just able to get across the line of scrimmage and wrapped up around the ankles by the Blue Devils. I believe that was Jude Devaney.
And Chase Bonadio as well, credited with part of that tackle. So pickup of, looked to be about 4 yards on that play, so 2nd down and 6.
Was able to stretch out those last couple of yards there.
Trinity with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. There's a handoff once again, and met by Davion Irvin, who's going to hold on to him until about half the Blue Devils defense can come in and clean up on number 2, David McMillan, who we know already has 2 touchdowns to his credit tonight.
Irvin's all over the field this evening. It's good to see.
making the most of his opportunity here on senior night.
Well, I just felt the first couple of drops, brother.
I may be moving under the overhang here in just a second. So that's a loss of 3 on that play. Now 3rd down and 9 for Trinity. And the ball is at the Trojans' own 7-yard line after that Wickliffe fumble right down near the goal line.
Boy, that's just a backbreaker.
He's going to look, and Trinity's going to go for it all. Throwing long on the left side. It is dropped. Oh, my goodness. Well, the intended receiver out there was number 3, Quincy Haynes, who had to turn around. It was a little bit underthrown, but it looked like Haynes had a good shot at catching that and just couldn't quite bring it in. And it looks like Wickliffe may have managed to create a 3-and-out situation as Trinity will face 4th and 9 from the 7-yard line. And indeed, number 7, Ian Anderson, will step back into his own end zone in punt formation.
You got maybe just a tad air under, a little too much air under that ball. Because I thought he had led number 3, Haynes, pretty well, or number 2, McMillan, pretty well on that.
Yeah, I think it was Haynes, and he did have to turn back. But yeah, it seemed like maybe it was there for the taking, and the Trojans just couldn't quite execute it. So Anderson, about a yard deep in his end zone, is going to take the snap. It's a low rolling punt, going to hit about the 37 and roll forward and now backwards, where it is down at the Trinity 41-yard line. So a net punt of 34 yards on that one. And Wickliffe is going to have nice field position as the Blue Devils take over for their second possession here in the second half. And the score remains Trinity 24, Wickliffe 7. So, Mark, good luck to the Wickliffe cross-country teams, both the high school boys and girls and middle school girls. There's only a girls team at the middle school this year. All of those teams will be traveling out to the Perry Outdoor Family YMCA tomorrow morning for the Chagrin Valley Conference cross-country meet and what promises to be a bit of a muddy run, I think.
If it rains, just rains, do they still run?
Oh, they will run. Yeah, they ran. We'll get to it. Had quite the experience last week out in Trumbull County. But in any case, 1st and 10 for Wickliffe as they hand off to Davion Irving, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down, possibly a loss of a yard there.
Mitchell Jones knifing in there very quickly to make the tackle, actually for a loss of about a yard. And Irvin is still down, just getting up slowly.
Rough night here for Wickliffe, and I think a timeout was actually called there. They've actually taken one off the board for Trinity, so it must have been a Trojans timeout in any case. So, Mark, to your point, that last week the cross-country teams ran at the Legends meet at the Trumbull County Fairgrounds, which was an absolute mud pit. And several of the runners, including senior Everett Chapo, ran the majority of the race having lost at least one shoe.
I was going to say, I bet a shoe got lost. Yeah.
I mean, Everett ran 2.5 of 3.1 miles, maybe more, with a single shoe. And finished with a nice time, all things considered. So that was indeed a loss of 1 on the run by the senior number 23, Davion Irving. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Wickliffe. Ball at the Trojan 42-yard line. Sean Durgans is alone in the backfield. He's going to fake a handoff to E.J. Mester and keep it himself across the 40. Keeps Bulls ahead down to the 35-yard line. And the Trojans are finally stopped him. He never went down, just had his forward progress stopped.
Right at the 35. So to finish that story off, was said shoe found?
It was later, yes. Yeah, but Wickliffe was not the only one to experience that. So we could see more of the same tomorrow. You know, cross country is truly cross country.
Yeah.
So a pickup of 7 on the carry there by Sean Durgans. It's 3rd down and 4 balls at the Trinity 35-yard line. Durgans once again is alone in the backfield. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right, including a slot. E.J. Mester this time goes in motion and takes the ball, and he's going to get across the 35-yard line down to about the 34. That will not be enough for a 1st down, and you have to presume, of course, Wickliffe will go for it in the circumstances, facing a 4th and about 3, trailing by 17 points here with 5:10 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Miles and Robinson Carter saved the 1st down there when able to tackle Mester there right off tackle. And
what was the same? It was interesting. But the same formation, same motion. Yeah. Last time they faked it to Mester. This time they give it to him. Yeah. And not much going on there. So Jude Devaney split out wide to the left. Nunzio Zavnaska split out here far to the near side. Durgan's looking over to Coach Mars Purcello, the former Blue Devil quarterback himself. And now it turns out Wickliffe will take its first time out here the second half. One team we haven't mentioned, we talked about the two soccer teams, we talked about cross country. Golf already finished its season, and they actually finished with a 13-4 record in dual meets this year. Golf did, led by senior Calvin Kikowski, who's consistently shot really, really well. Excellent season for Calvin, but a lot of the guys from the soccer teams, like Noah Tellisman, like Colin Casey, AJ Levon, doubled and actually played on the golf team as well. And one of the girls from the volleyball team, Lily Cavetta, did so. And speaking of the volleyball team, they also have a postseason match coming up this week. They will travel all the way to West Salem Northwest for their first round playoff game, sectional game. And we actually had Northwest here for boys soccer last year, and that's about an hour 15, I think, or so, probably certainly by bus. So of all the teams here at Wickliffe this fall season entering postseason play, the volleyball team, those girls win the farthest travel award, especially considering the fact that both soccer teams open up at home. So
nice, yeah.
And the girls, should they manage to beat Cornerstone Christian, I believe, will face a second round matchup against defending Division III state champion Kirtland in that one. So that'll get real challenging in a hurry if they manage to get past the Patriots. So. Fourth down and 3 for Wickliffe. Sean Durgan's hands off to Davion Irving. He gets some positive yardage, but I don't think he got quite far enough to get the first down. I think that was a gain of 2 or 2.5 when they needed 3.
Tackle made by number 25, John Woods.
Woods was able to stop him just right at the marker.
And unfortunately, the officials agree with us, so Trinity's going to take over on downs. 1st and 10. And the Trojans will start this possession at their own 32-yard line. Trinity already up 24-7.
Wickliffe has looked like they're backing up for a minute.
I don't think there's any need for a measurement. I think it was clearly down. The first down marker was at the 31, and the ball right now is at the 32.
And I think they've already moved them for Trinity. So I think they moved the chain because it was down another yard. Now they just moved it back up where the ball was down on the 4th down.
Well, the officials conferring on this one. In any case, it is 1st and 10 for the Trojans. And I guess Wickliffe was waiting before it sent out its defense. It was waiting to get an official notification as to what was going on. You know, Mark, we've called his name a couple of times, but back at the safety position right now is number 8, Logan Ruskin, and he's a freshman that's getting some plenty of varsity time. That's a guy who we're going to, whose name we'll be calling more and more, I think, as the years go on here. Get to watch his older sister Layla play volleyball and basketball.
Yeah, Coach was mentioning, with a lot of these younger players that are good and gifted, they haven't even hit their growth spurts yet. He was talking about that in the pregame and looking forward to their junior and senior years.
I'm sure Ian Anderson is going to hand off right there to David McMillan. He gets across the 35, dances out of contact, and then puts his head down and gets down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 8 on first down for Trinity.
And Logan Ruskin was in on the tackle there.
We appreciate him doing that right on time with our plug for him. So 2nd and 2 for Trinity. And Mark, we did have a couple of those drops, and now it's subsided. So hopefully, well, now that I've said something, you watch. Second down and 2 for Trinity. Quarterback Ian Anderson will send Quincy Haynes in motion. He'll hand off to David McMillan, who gets out of a shoestring tackle attempt across the 35, the 50, into Wickliffe territory. And it looks like there is a flag down.
I think they're going to get number 23 for maybe a block in the back. His body language is...
That flag was thrown about 7 or 8 yards behind where McMillan was brought down. And And the officials will confer about this one. And they are, in fact, marching it backwards against Trinity.
Krishan Price, I believe, was the guilty party there. And you could always, and especially in high school, with the body language, you just about tell who something's on.
That's true. So officially the call is holding. So instead of having it down near the Wickliffe 40, Trinity will find itself back at its own 43. And that occurred after McMillan had gotten the first down. So it will be, they're calling it 1st and 10 for Trinity. So that penalty cost the Trojans, oh, good 17 yards, 16, 17 yards there. Quarterback Ian Anderson now with 2 running backs, one to either side of him, but he's going to drop straight back, and it's going to be a screen pass out to McMillan. He's across the 40, the 45, across midfield, gets out of a tackle across the 40, 35, 30, off to the races, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's finally pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that sophomore, 5'9", 155 pounds, boy, he just really turned it on. Once he made that corner and he was at the 40-yard line, it was, he just put it in another gear.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. So it looks like 54-yard screen pass play there. And it's going to be 1st and goal for Trinity. The ball at the Wickliffe 3-yard line.
Give credit to that left side of that offensive line for the Trojans to being able to spring him to.
And to the play call.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen that tonight. And I'm not sure whether the Devils had seen it on film or not, but in any case, it worked well for Trinity, which is 3 yards away from another score. Quarterback Ian Anderson is going to hand off to McMillan, and he cuts it up inside into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. David McMillan with his 3rd touchdown of the night. This one coming on a 3-yard scoring jaunt. So that's going to make the score Trinity 30 and Wickliffe 7. And once again, they're going to line up for 2, as they have been all night, presumably because they don't really have anyone skilled in the art of place kicking. We actually, we played Crestwood a couple of weeks ago. Remember, they went for 2 almost every play. It turned out, we found out their kicker had been hurt in a soccer game just the night before. Normally they would have gone for it. So Anderson is going to throw into the end zone, and it's caught by Michael Miles, and the 2-point conversion is good. And it was an interesting play there. It was an option. He had 2 running backs behind him, Anderson did, as he rolled out to the right, looked back at them, and then turned around, looked into the end zone, and just before he crossed the line of scrimmage, threw to Miles, who was in the back of the end zone, and made the catch.
Well, I tell you what, he drifted in behind those guys that were maybe keying on that run, and just right in behind him, and was able to just right on the L of Blue Devils, and was able to haul it in for the 2-point conversion. Well, it had a little bit of rain a little bit ago, and it might be even raining just a tad now, but with 2:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter, hopefully we'll get this one in a dry one. And then once we're in the cars, let it rain.
Yeah, it's going to rain by tomorrow for JV football games and cross-country meets and whatnot anyway, so.
And my clam bake.
And you're, oh no. That time of year, though. That time of year, so. Although all things considered, Mark, it's, it's October the 15th, and we're not wearing jackets. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Here in week 9 of the high school football season. Only the 8th game for your Blue Devils because, of course, one of the canceled COVID games, they were not able to make up. The other one against Fairport, they were able to find an opponent in Akron Kenmore Garfield. Frank mentioned there has been some talk of making up that Fairport game in week 11, but a lot of things would have to happen for that to happen. So we'll see if it goes. We'll see if it happens. So Trinity set to kick this one off, and there once again is the low line drive. It's going to be picked up by Mester at about his own 14. He's going to take it up the middle, across the 25 to about the 30-yard line where he's brought down. So a 16-yard return for number 9, E.J. Mester, and number 3, Quincy Haynes, credited with the stop for Trinity. So Mester, we have heard he's kind of a versatile young athlete. We've heard his name mentioned as a possible quarterback of the future. You know, of course, you have Sean Durgans back next year, presuming he is looking to play football again, which we certainly hope he is, because we did mention how much improvement he has shown throughout the year.
Yeah, especially never playing quarterback. Right?
Yeah, it's not the easiest position to just step into. So, 1st and 10, Wickliffe. Devils with the ball starting at their own 30-yard line. And low snap that Durgans picks up. He's going to scramble to his left, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield by a host of Trojans led by number 50.
And he might have fumbled the ball.
That's Kayvon Robinson Carter.
He didn't get up with the ball, so he must have let the ball go. But I know I saw number 72 for the
Blake
Blue Devils.
able to come up with the recovery.
Right.
Good eye there, Mark. I didn't see that, but boy, Sean was running from his life.
And I'm not sure if that was a broken play or not, because it looked like he was either expecting somebody to be there. Just again, his body language just kind of looked like that was not the play that was called.
In any case, it's a loss of 4, 2nd down and 14. Ball now back at the 26-yard line of Wickliffe. Devils trailing this one by a score of 32-7. Durgans takes it, hands off to Davion Irving, and he's going to try to find some room around the right end, and it's not there, as he is taken down there by number 23, Krishawn Price. Or correction, that was 13, Michael Miles.
And you know, Irvin Young, backup, and he's been called into action because of the, if you're wondering why we haven't said Vincent Gargiulo's name or Thomas Wentz, if you're just clicking in, those both players hurt in the first half and did not return.
So we do have an injured Blue Devil out on the field, back at the 25-yard line. That may be Irvin. It is in fact Davion Irvin, as we figured it might be. And Irvin was slow to get up last series on a play as well. So boy, it has been a very, very busy night, unfortunately, for athletic trainer Hannah Reinhardt, who, by the way, is the athletic trainer for all Wickliffe sports teams. So on a given night during the fall, you may see her shuttling back and forth between the gym for a volleyball match and the field for a soccer game. Of course, out here for football. She helps out all the athletic teams. She's from Lake Health, and she is set to get married in a couple of months. She will go from Hannah Reinhardt to Hannah Wright at that point, and we love having her here.
But once August rolls around, it's like, adios, I'll see you at Christmas.
Yeah, that's basically how it is in the life of a high school athletic trainer. So Irvin is up, walking off under his own power, as they say, which is good to see.
You know what? He might have fell on the football as the way the way he was tackled from behind, and the defender kind of slid over top of him after he got on the ground.
And as our father used to say, that'll feel good when it quits hurting. For sure. So Irving comes off. So this is the Blue Devils find themselves in another difficult situation, not only trailing by 25 points here late in the third quarter, but now facing a 3rd down and 14. And without the services of their senior, who is taking over at running back, Davion Irving, who has to come off for at least one play. Looks like E.J. Mester will be out there along with Sean Durgans, Menzio Zivnaska. Logan Ruskin has come on now, and he'll be at a wing back position, at least to start this play.
I see Bonadio out there as well.
So let's see what, now we have a whistle. And we'll see what's going on here. I didn't see a flag.
Did somebody helmet over the line or something?
Boy, that's a good question, Mark. In any case, the official restarts the clock. And the Blue Devils are going to take a crack at this 3rd and 14 situation here in Trinity, crowding that line of scrimmage, trying to go after Durgans, who's going to roll to his left. He looks. He's got Logan Ruskin, who gets it across the 30, 35, 40. I'm sorry, that's E.J. Mester, who's taken out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but not before he picks up a Wickliffe 1st down. Well-designed play there. So not only do you neutralize the pressure up the middle by immediately rolling Sean Durgans out to his left, but you give him an easy target, and E.J. Mester just runs that little 7 or 8 yard flat route, and he had plenty of daylight ahead of him.
if you're not within 5 yards of him, he's going to get at least 10 yards.
Yeah,
before
right.
you get
Yeah,
him.
that's true. That is absolutely true. So takes the ball out to the 45-yard line. Turned out to be a pickup of 19 on that play, and the Blue Devils needed 14, which was good to see. And we have a timeout called now. And Mark, after a relatively slow first half, oh, actually the third quarter is coming to an end. So that's what it is. I thought we had a timeout. It's actually is the end of the third quarter. So we have come to the end of 3 quarters of play here at Wickliffe Memorial Stadium with your score Trinity 32 and Wickliffe 7. And here is your swing band.
I wonder what the theme. So the spirit group that's using, we usually mention them. They're in front of us, down below in the first couple of rows. They had a theme every home game, and I just can't figure out what that theme is.
Maybe tonight
today.
it's freestyle.
Maybe it's a freestyle.
I see some flannels. But in any case, they're still standing up and cheering on their Blue Devils, and Wickliffe will start the fourth quarter. First and 10 from its own 44-yard line. Durgans takes it, and he's going to hand off to Mester, who is hit immediately by number 58 of the Trojans there. And that is, well, we don't have a number 58.
Brendan Port, number 68.
Oh, 68, Brendan Port. Boy, it's time for new glasses prescription, folks. Looked like 58 to me. Interestingly, Wickliffe on its soccer team has a Brendan Port, who is considerably smaller than the football Trinity Brendan Port, I will say. Had him, coached him as a young man, the Wickliffe Brendan Port, very skilled soccer player. And he's a freshman playing now up here at the high school. That's going to go for no gain on the handoff to Mester after Port came up and put the hammer down on him. So 2nd and 10 for Wickliffe. Rolling to his right is Sean Durgans under a lot of pressure, and he's going to go down, and the ball is out, still in play, and I believe Chase Bonadil is able to come over and recover it for Wickliffe.
And he was lucky to be where he was.
Yeah, because for a second I thought Michael Miles was going to pick the scoop and try to score on that one, but Bonadil came over and was Johnny on the spot to pick up the fumble after Durgans, who was under considerable pressure on that one, got hit.
Well, nothing doing so far on this series for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, other than, if you can, the flat route to Ruskin, or in this case it was Mester a few plays ago, that has worked. But when you don't have the experienced running of a Vince Gargiulo, or the hard bull-like running of a Thomas Wenz, they're going to key on the Durgans keeper and let the others try to beat him if you're the Trinity defense. So 3rd and 14, Durgans throws, and there is that route to Mester, and he is brought down well in an open field tackle by number 5, Aiden Duncan, right away.
Yeah.
And I
went to the well a little bit too often on that one.
Yeah,
Duncan saw that one before.
So that was a pickup of about 2 when you needed 14. And I took enough math at Wickliffe High School to know that ain't going to do it. So 4th and 12 for Wickliffe. Mr. Bailey taught me that, Mark. Mr. Bailey in freshman algebra, or Mr. Dursey. I'm going back a little after your time. Enjoyed learning algebra from Mr. Bob Bailey. Good man. He used to talk about it. We're going to have some polynomial fun today, he would say. And I got to tell you, it was never fun. Not even once. So 4th and 12. Wickliffe is lining up to go for it here. Durgans has 3 receivers, and now the Blue Devils are going to take a timeout. So They lined up on the 4th and 12 to go for it. Mester and Jude Devaney were split out wide here on the near side. And the receiver split out on the far side was number 28, Wyatt Bamer, the freshman who was listed as a running back but was lined up at receiver there. And we'll see if they come out in that same formation. But in any case, Coach Mars Purcell wanted to talk this one over a little bit. And in particular, I think he's talking to Bamer. And it may have been about where Wyatt lined up, or, well, who knows what it is. But in any case, Mars has enough experience at this game. I'm sure that he's correcting what needs to be corrected in this case. Of course, as most know, Mars was an excellent quarterback here at Wickliffe High School in the mid to late 90s. He was the quarterback of, I believe, the only undefeated Wickliffe team, the 1997 10-0 team. And that was a run there that culminated in that great 1999 team that had Mike Phillip at running back and was just a play or two away from advancing to the state semifinals, the Division IV semifinals that year. Great, great team. In any case, it will be 4th and 12. Now, it's a bit of a different formation. Durgans is alone in the backfield. He's going to take it's going to be a quick kick, actually, and he's going to kick it over the head of the Trinity defense. It's going to go down inside the 25 and be down at about the 24-yard line. So the quick kick.
I was kind of surprised that they weren't going to do that. I would have been surprised if they'd have ran that play.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a weird part of the field.
So that's one of those plays that, you know, you practice it, you have it in the playbook. There's a good chance that you never need it, but in this case, they were able to flip the field a little bit on Trinity, and instead of turning it over near midfield to the Trojans, Wickliffe will get the quick kick punt by Sean Durgans, and now Trinity will start 1st and 10 at its own 24-yard line. 8:50 to go in this one, and Trinity in control, leading by a score of 32-7.
Well, I'm just going to go on a limb here and say that number 7, Ian Anderson, is going to turn around and hand off this ball.
That is an excellent guess. I believe it's Anderson and McMillan still in the game for Trinity. And McMillan will get the call right up the middle, find some room across the 25, down across the 30-yard line to about the 31. So a healthy pickup of about 7 yards on 1st down for the Trojans. Now McMillan will come off. One of the seniors honored pregame, number 40, Montreal Barron, defensive lineman, credited with the tackle there at the stop of McMillan. We did have cheerleader and football senior night prior to this one. Good to honor the seniors on both of those squads for all of their contributions over their time here at Wickliffe High School. So 2nd down and 3 for Trinity. There's going to be a handoff there over right tackle. That's number 26, Christian Locke. And he gets to the 35-yard line, which is enough for a Trinity 1st down. Trojans needed 3, they got 4. Tackle that time for Wickliffe, and glad we're getting the chance to call some different numbers. We're 65, Chris Say there, a freshman. 1st and 10 for Trinity. Anderson will hand off once again to Locke. He's across the 40, across the 45, takes it across midfield into Wickliffe territory. Finally brought down there, Christian Locke is. And it took Chase Bonadio to finally wrestle him to the turf, but not before Locke picks up another Trojan 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Wickliffe 49. As we said, the Blue Devils in their final scheduled home game here tonight. Next week, they will travel to Cuyahoga Heights to take on the Redskins at a great old stadium at Cuyahoga Heights, kind of in a bowl, one of those, and fun place to watch a track meet or a football game. 1st and 10, Locke's going to get it again around right end. He's going to take it up across the 45, goes out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And that's going to be another very healthy gain for Trinity on 1st down of about 7 yards. Once again, Chase Bonadio involved in the action there. Actually going to put it down at the 43-yard line, so gain of 6.
Have to wonder why he just didn't fall down.
To keep the clock running,
Yeah.
you mean? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the mental aspect of the game is the most challenging one at this level, certainly. At all levels, really. But 2nd down and 4. And the ball's on the turf. And Locke is going to have to fall on it just to ensure no Wickliffe defender was able to pilfer it. So that's going to be a loss of about 3 on that one. Ball back at the Wickliffe 46-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for Trinity. And we are down near about the 6-minute mark to go in this one in what was a close game for most of the first half, an 8-7 game. And some Wickliffe injuries really took the air out of the Blue Devils, and now they find themselves down 25. And there's a handoff to Locke once again, who gets it across the 45. And it hit pretty hard there.
Up and down, high and low. I think Mester was one of them because he's wearing pink socks. So
it was easy to see, for sure. And I think Montrell Barron was
right.
also part of that tackle
Montrell
as
was,
well.
Yep.
So it's going to be 4th down for Trinity. 4th down and 4 after the 3-yard run by Locke. Ian Anderson is back in punt formation, and the Blue Devils do not have anyone deep here. Actually, now E.J. Mester is going to go back, and he's going to stand about his own 15-yard line. Anderson's one of those that does not far back behind the center, takes a high floating snap, and he's going to try to directionally kick to the right side, and it goes out of bounds at around the Wickliffe 10-yard line.
And he got a goal.
And did it go into the net?
Yeah.
So the soccer nets are off to the side on the visited side of the stadium on the track. Boy, I'll tell you, that punt had a nicer spiral than any thrown pass I've seen tonight.
I was just going to say the
I
same
think he
thing.
just
had
rolled
to
it
get a
right
nice
off his
spiral.
foot intentionally. I mean, that was a directional kick, certainly, and it did its job. They're actually going to, now that was interesting. Boy, it's so hard to tell the angle here. I thought it went out of bounds at the 10. They have it down at the 23-yard line, so it must have.
Really had a.
Yeah.
Really had a.
Well.
Like a fairway shank.
Uh-oh. And we just had a big flash of lightning, and the officials are going to blow their whistles. And I'm wondering here, Mark, if the coaches might confer and end this one with 4:50 to go and Trinity up 32-7. I know Mars Purcello is talking to one of the officials. He is going to walk across the field. I think he's going to try to talk to the Trinity head coach, who we mentioned earlier. And I apologize to Trinity fans.
And I believe they're
Jeff McSweeney.
I believe Coach Purcello just went over to Coach McSweeney and shook his hand and said,
"Yeah,
congratulations."
Let's
Nice
finish
game.
this one rather than wait a half hour."
Right.
And we're going to wait for the official announcement on this, and in fact, that will be the end of the game. So with the flash of lightning comes the end of the game, and that means your final score here tonight from Wickliffe Memorial Stadium was the Trinity Trojans 32 and the Wickliffe Blue Devils 7. So Mark, we harped a lot here in the second half on the injuries, not only to Vince Gargiulo and Sean Durgans, but Mitchell Lindsay, who was hurt even coming into tonight. Davion Irving was up and down a couple of times, a couple of other Blue Devils. There's a lot here to be concerned about, but let's talk about positives. First half, the execution much better than what we've seen in recent weeks. The center quarterback exchange was clean, certainly for the most part. We saw some good open field tackling, some rallying to the ball on defense. Just, again, until I think it was as much mental as it was loss of talent when this game broke open late in the first half after Gargiulo and Wentz went down.
Well, and you're talking about those positives when Wentz was in there, especially that one long touchdown run he had that really, really fired up the team. And as fired up as they were after that touchdown run, I think the air came out just as fast when Thomas went down right before the first half was over. So that is going to do it for us. And I believe Well, for some reason, my brother just handed everything over to Frank. So, Frank, we're going to...
Well, Mark, I guess this will kind of wrap things for what has been, what is the scheduled home season for the Blue Devils. Mother Nature did try to get into the game here tonight. We did see some improvements by the Blue Devils, but it wasn't enough to hold off the Trinity Trojans as they prevail 32-7.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, like I say, the second, the end of the first half kind of told the story and set the stage and the tone for the second half. And, again, unfortunately, down second week in a row with the Blue Devils down on the goal line, a foot from the goal line and a foot from a touchdown. And, they get a turnover and fumble the ball away. So a lot to work on, but a lot of positives, as Scott said, taken out of this. Very, very young team. And earlier when I spoke with Coach Porcello, he was very, very anxious to get these young men into the locker room and into the weight room once this season ended. So, partner, number 17 comes to a close.
That it does. And, I would say normally we'd probably go through a longer recap, but Mother Nature's about to, I think, dump on us. So we want to thank everybody who's joined us this year on the Worldwide Blue Devil Network. Thank you for being here with us. And hope you have a great weekend. And once again, the final from Wickliffe Memorial Stadium. I want to thank Tony Throckmorton, a junior from Wickliffe High School, who joined us, as the final tonight is Trinity 32, Wickliffe 7. Have a great night, everybody.